Have you ever felt like you're carrying an invisible weight on your shoulders? A heaviness made of regrets, painful memories, unspoken words, and endless worries about things you cannot change? If so, you're not alone. Many of us move through life holding on tightly to things we should have let go of long ago. And yet, we cling to them, afraid to release what feels so familiar, even if it hurts. But what if I told you, true freedom isn't about controlling your world? It's about learning the art of letting go. In today's video, we'll gently uncover the timeless wisdom of the Buddha on how to release these mental burdens. Step by step, this isn't about pretending life is perfect or denying your feelings. It's about creating space within yourself, space for peace, for clarity, and for freedom. Imagine a still lake on a quiet morning. The surface is calm, reflecting the sky like a perfect mirror. Now, picture a single stone dropped into that lake. The ripples spread, disturbing the peace. Our attachments and worries are like those stones. The more we cling, the more the waters of our mind stay restless. So, how do we learn to let go? What does it truly mean to release what no longer serves us? And why is it so difficult? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll discover not only why letting go matters, but how Buddhist wisdom can gently guide you towards inner freedom. One breath at a time. In Buddhist teachings, one of the greatest causes of human suffering is attachment. Not just attachment to people or possessions, but also to emotions, ideas, expectations, and even to the way we believe life should unfold. Think about it. How often have you clung to a memory that no longer serves you? Or held on to anger long after the moment has passed? These attachments quietly shape the way we see ourselves and the world around us. And without even realizing it, we carry them like invisible weights. Day after day, the Buddha likened this to holding a burning coal in your hand, intending to throw it at someone else. But in the end, you're the one who gets burned. Holding on to anger, resentment, or regret only poisons your own peace. It disturbs your inner clarity and keeps your heart heavy. But what makes letting go so difficult? Why do we cling so tightly to what hurts us? Part of it comes from fear of change, fear of the unknown, and fear of losing parts of our identity. Sometimes, even our pain becomes a strange kind of comfort because it's familiar. Letting it go would mean stepping into the uncertain space of who we are without it. Yet, Buddhist wisdom reminds us that life is like a flowing river. Everything is in constant motion. Clinging to one moment, one feeling, or one expectation is like trying to grasp water with your bare hands. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. The practice of letting go begins with awareness. Notice what you're holding onto. Is it a grudge against someone from your past? A deep sadness you haven't fully named? An old failure you replay in your mind late at night? Whatever it is, acknowledge it gently. No need for judgment, no need to scold yourself. Buddhist teachers often use the metaphor of clouds passing through the sky. Your thoughts and emotions are like these clouds, they come and go. Some are heavy and dark, others light and fleeting, but you, the awareness observing them, are like the vast open sky, unchanging, boundless. When you realize that you are not your thoughts, not your fleeting emotions, you begin to loosen your grip. And with each release, even if small, you create space for peace to enter. Now, you might be wondering, how do I actually let go of something I've carried for so long? How do I release what feels so deeply woven into my being? The answer isn't force, it's kindness, it's patience. Letting go is not a single act but a gentle practice you return to again and again. Like a breath. In the following part of this video, we'll explore practical Buddhist methods you can use today to begin this beautiful, liberating process. From mindful breathing to compassion meditations, these ancient teachings offer simple yet profound ways to lighten the burdens you carry. So, take a deep breath with me. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. In this very moment, you are enough, and in this very moment, the art of letting go begins. One of the simplest, yet most powerful tools in Buddhist practice is mindful breathing. It sounds almost too easy, doesn't it? But often, the most profound wisdom lies in simplicity. The Buddha taught that when you become aware of your breath, you return to the present moment. And in this moment, you are not chasing after the past, nor are you anxiously reaching for the future. You are simply here, breathing in. You know you are breathing in. Breathing out. You know you are breathing out. It's in this awareness that letting go quietly begins. When a painful memory rises, you gently breathe with it. You don't have to push it away or drown in it. You simply notice, here is sadness. Here is fear. You give it a name and let it be. And as you stay with your breath, the grip of that emotion loosens. Just a little. Can you imagine how freeing it would feel to stop wrestling with your thoughts? To stop being dragged by the endless current of emotions? The breath becomes your anchor in that storm, steady, calm, and always available. Another beautiful practice is loving kindness meditation, known in Pali as metta bhavana. This practice teaches us to cultivate feelings of goodwill towards ourselves and others, even towards those we struggle with. And yes, that includes those people from our past we secretly wish would vanish from our memories. You begin by silently repeating gentle phrases. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. You offer these wishes to yourself, then to someone you love, then to a neutral person, and finally, to someone with whom you have difficulties. At first, it might feel forced. You might think, I don't want to wish peace to this person who hurt me. And that's okay. The practice isn't about pretending your pain doesn't exist. It's about softening your heart's tight grip. One breath, one wish at a time. As you continue, something remarkable happens. The heaviness you've been carrying begins to lift. The knots inside you start to untangle. Not all at once, but gradually, like morning mist dissolving under the warmth of the sun. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that clinging to anger or grief is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. In the end, it is we who endure the harm. Letting go isn't about forgetting or excusing. It's about choosing peace for ourselves. You may wonder, does this mean I'll never feel hurt or upset again? Of course not. Life is filled with joy and sorrow, with gain and loss. But through practice, you become less entangled in the highs and lows. You find a deeper steadiness beneath the waves. And perhaps that is the real art, not avoiding pain, but learning how to meet it with grace, how to hold it gently, and how to release it when it's time. In the next part of this video, we'll discover how to recognize the signs of clinging in daily life, and how small, mindful shifts in our thoughts and actions can help us release what no longer serves our peace. So, stay with me, the journey is just beginning. So, How do you recognize when you're clinging to something in daily life? The signs are often subtle, hidden in the way we react to the smallest moments. It might be that tight feeling in your chest when someone speaks unkindly to you, or the restless thoughts that follow you to bed, replaying conversations, wishing you had said something different. Sometimes, it's the silent resentment you carry for years, disguised as indifference. Other times, it's the ache in your heart when things don't go as you hoped, or the anxiety that creeps in when the future feels uncertain. Buddhism teaches us that suffering arises not because of what happens to us, but because of the way we attach ourselves to those experiences. It's not the rain that ruins our day, it's our unwillingness to accept the rain. Not the loss that destroys us, but our refusal to let go of what was. Can you feel the difference between the two? One is inevitable, the other is optional. This is why awareness is so important. When you notice yourself clinging to an old story, a past mistake, or an expectation, you have a chance to pause. In that brief, sacred pause, you can choose a different way. It doesn't mean you have to instantly forgive or forget. It means you gently acknowledge what's here. This is grief. This is anger. This is fear. You recognize it without judgment. Like watching a storm cloud drift across the sky, knowing it too shall pass. One simple practice you can begin today is to pay attention to your inner dialogues. Notice how often your mind clings to should have, could have, or if only. These are the threads we weave around ourselves, trapping us in a net of longing and regret. Each time you catch yourself in these thoughts, take a slow, mindful breath, feel it rise and fall in your body, and silently remind yourself, this, too, belongs, and this, too, can be released. Letting go doesn't mean you no longer care. It means you care enough about your peace to stop carrying what weighs you down. It means you trust that life will unfold as it must, whether or not it follows your plan. Imagine standing by a river, watching leaves float gently past. Each leaf is a thought, a memory, an old emotion, some you're tempted to reach for, to hold onto. But what if, just for today, you let them pass? What if you allowed the river to carry them away, trusting that whatever you truly need will remain with you, while what no longer serves you will drift gently out of sight? In the next part of this video, we'll explore a few timeless Buddhist teachings on impermanence, and how embracing the fleeting nature of all things makes it easier, even natural, to let go. When you deeply understand that nothing lasts forever, the need to hold so tightly begins to dissolve. So, stay close, dear friend. This wisdom has the power to soften your heart and lighten your spirit in ways you may not have imagined. One of the most profound teachings in Buddhism is the understanding of impermanence, the truth that everything in this life is in a constant state of change. Nothing stays the same. The people we love, the feelings we experience, the successes we chase, and even the sorrows we endure, all of them rise, stay for a while, and then fade away. Have you ever tried holding onto a handful of water? No matter how tightly you close your fingers, the water slips through. Life is just like that. The tighter we hold, the quicker things slip away. The Buddha reminded us, all conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This isn't just a beautiful quote to remember, it's a reality to be lived. When you truly grasp the fleeting nature of all things, clinging becomes unnecessary. you begin to see that trying to make things stay, or wishing they could have lasted longer, only leads to sorrow. Imagine standing beneath a tree in autumn. The leaves, once lush and green, are now turning gold and crimson, falling gently to the earth. You could try catching every leaf, hoping to keep them from falling. But no matter how quick your hands, the leaves will continue to drop. The wise one learns to watch them fall with grace, knowing that this too is a season. This awareness brings a quiet kind of freedom. It teaches us to cherish what we have while it's here, without grasping too tightly, and to let go when it's time, without bitterness, because everything that comes into our lives, joy or pain, love or loss, is a visitor, and each visitor carries a teaching. In daily life, you might practice this by noticing small endings. The closing of a day, the last sip of tea, a conversation that lingers, then fades. Each of these moments reminds us that impermanence isn't just something dramatic, like death or separation. It's happening in the smallest details of our lives. When you become mindful of these little farewells, you naturally soften your grip on the larger things. You realize, if I can let go of this sunset, this goodbye, this passing thought, perhaps one day I can also let go of heavier burdens. And what a lightness that brings! A heart no longer weighed down by what has passed, or anxiously clinging to what might come. A mind that rests in the ease of now. In our next section, we'll gently explore how to create mindful daily rituals that help you stay connected to this truth, practices that don't demand hours of meditation, but simple, quiet moments of awareness you can carry into your everyday life. So stay with me. The art of letting go isn't a one-time act, but a lifelong, beautiful unfolding. Let's talk about how we can carry this wisdom into our daily lives, not just as a beautiful idea, but as a living, breathing practice. Because knowing that everything is impermanent is one thing. Learning how to move with that truth, gracefully and peacefully, is another. One gentle way to do this is through small, mindful rituals. You don't need hours of meditation or complex ceremonies. In fact, some of the most meaningful practices are the simplest. For instance, at the end of each day, you might take a few quiet minutes to reflect on what you're still holding onto. Is there a harsh word from someone that lingers in your mind? An old disappointment weighing down your heart? A regret you keep carrying like a heavy stone in your pocket? Close your eyes. Name them, one by one. Acknowledge them softly, without anger or shame. Then, with a long, deep breath, imagine placing each of them on a leaf and watching it float down a quiet river. Let them drift, slowly, gently out of sight. It may sound small, but this simple act creates space in your heart. You'll be surprised how much lighter your spirit feels when you consciously let things go. Even just for tonight. Another practice is learning to greet endings with gratitude. The last sip of tea, the final page of a book, the moment when a loved one leaves after a visit. Instead of clinging, notice the beauty in the completion. Whisper a quiet thank you. When you develop this habit of mindful release in little moments, it naturally extends to the larger, heavier things in life. You begin to understand that every ending carries its own quiet blessing, clearing the way for something new to arise. And when the difficult times come, as they surely will, you'll have this steady, gentle skill within you. You'll remember how to breathe through the ache of change, how to soften your grip, and how to trust the unseen currents of life. You might even find yourself asking, In the midst of chaos, can I let this go? Just for now? Often, you'll discover that the answer is yes. The Buddha often used simple images from nature to explain this truth. He spoke of the lotus flower, rising pure and unsullied from muddy waters, of the river that never clings to a single drop, but flows, always flows. We too can learn to move like the river, to bloom like the lotus. This is the art of letting go, not as a single act, but as a daily way of living. It's a practice of opening your hands, your heart, and your mind to the reality that nothing is meant to be held forever. In our next and final part, we'll reflect on what it means to live with open hands, embracing life's gifts, releasing its sorrows, and finding peace not in what we can hold onto, but in how freely we can let things pass. So stay with me, dear friend. The heart you lighten may very well be your own. As we come to the close of this reflection, I want to leave you with a gentle truth, one that lives at the heart of every Buddhist teaching, and quietly echoes in the depths of your own heart. You don't have to carry everything. So much of our suffering comes from this unseen weight we place upon our shoulders. Old words we can't forget, futures we can't predict, the ache of what we wish could have been, and the fear of what might be. And yet, life has never asked us to hold it all. It only asks us to be present for what's here, right now. Imagine standing beside a great, ancient tree. Its branches stretch endlessly into the sky, and its leaves shimmer in the afternoon light. Notice how it sheds its leaves without resistance when the season changes. Not a single branch clings to what must fall away. The tree trusts the cycles of life, knowing that every loss makes room for new growth. And so can you. This is not a path of cold detachment, but of tender wisdom. You're not asked to be indifferent to the world, but to love it fully, knowing it will change, to hold people close, knowing they too are passing through, to savor joys while they last, and bow gently when it's time to say goodbye. In letting go, you don't lose your life, you finally meet it. The river keeps flowing, the seasons keep turning, and your heart, if you let it, can move with them. There's no need to hold your breath, fearing the next change. Instead, you can exhale, release, and step softly into whatever comes. So tonight, or whenever you need it most, pause, breathe deeply, place your worries, your regrets, your longings in the palm of your hand. Then, one by one, open your fingers, watch them drift away on the quiet wind of your breath. And in the sacred emptiness that follows, feel the gentle presence of peace. This is your true nature. Spacious, open, free. Thank you for walking this quiet path with me today. If this message brought even a small sense of calm to your heart, I invite you to return whenever you need. And perhaps, share this space with someone you love. Until next time, be well, be kind to yourself, and keep letting go.